Sup YouTube, welcome back to another video documenting my journey to legend. I've never hit legend before and I'm hoping to do so for the first time this season. If that's something you think you'd be interested in, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Before we get started with the battles, I want to give a huge shout out to the following three people. My man Ralph, I don't even know if his name is actually Ralph. Something we're all going to do at the end of our time, Chuck the Bucket, and then most definitely the owner of the Baxter building, Jordan Baxter. Thank you guys so much for your support on the channel. It really means a lot. We crossed 500 subs not too long ago. I'm honestly blown away. I can't believe it that 500 of you decided to follow me. So thank you each and every one of you for following this channel and following me along on this journey. So in these battles today, I want to showcase something a little different. A different team, as you can see. I swapped out Giratina for Venusaur. I found Venusaur to be a really good mon in the meta that I was seeing. As you can see, I am running into a Shadow Claw Giratina, so I don't expect to win this. I didn't tank that Ancient Power for Science. I knew I was gonna be in a losing matchup, and I'm gonna come back in with Alolan Sandslash and farm down. All these videos are either losses or difficult leads, but I wanted to showcase these battles specifically, not because I tanked my ELO, but because every single battle here, I feel like I could learn something from it. And maybe you guys can too. Sometimes you sign into Go Battle League and you feel like you're getting hard countered and you're losing, but I hope that maybe these battles will shed some light on there being a possibility when you're not completely hard countered, right? So for example, this first battle, we had a Obstagoon lead, which was horrible for our Sandslash. We had a Giratina Shadow Claw counter swap to Charizard, so it keeps up on energy. We're not flipping that matchup. And our backline, our backmon Venusaur was paired up against a Togekiss. I went straight for the Sludge Bomb and it didn't cost me because they're going to save both shields for this guy. And I'm throwing one or two before they reach their next Night Slash. I was counting. And here my opponent stops. He pauses before throwing his move. One, I'm not able to get my move off there, so we did lose that match. But I should have thrown anyway because a Night Slash, after I did my research, only does about 23% to a Venusaur. And we definitely had enough HP to just barely survive. So I should have trusted my gut, gone for that next Frenzy Plant, and we might have been able to take that game. Next up, we have a Jelly lead. We're not running Bulldoze, so this is a pretty difficult lead, but I'd rather see it here as opposed to in the back, possibly paired up against Charizard. The reason I'm showcasing this is because it's an unusual, uncommon lead. Right there, my opponent makes a mistake, right? We capitalize on that. They go for the Bubble Beam. I suspect this is going to be another Bubble Beam. I know I'm going to go down. I'm only going to get one move off, so I'm going for the harder hitting move. And then I'm going to come in with Venusaur. They have Bubble Beam. I can tank. Oh, wait, no, actually, I come in with Charizard. I expect the energy on Charizard to be more valuable as this is a hard counter, in my opinion, to a Charizard. So I'm going to farm this down, and here I make a mistake. They come in with Giratina, which isn't the best response to a Charizard in the lead, and then here they aren't swapping out. So my initial impression is, okay, it's either an Obstagoon or quite possibly a Charmer. I'm gonna assume it's a Charmer, right? Because Jelly's kind of weak to Obstagoon, so in the back it's most likely a Charmer. But I'm not shielding Venusaur because I think I have enough energy on Charizard to take out these mons. What I should have done is I should have stayed in with Charizard. Look, they even catch my my Dragon Claw. I did one over. I didn't need to throw, but I just wanted to throw safely. Here I'm going to farm up as much as I can. Maybe I should have done one less because I would have a little bit more health. I think it would have still been the same outcome, but here I'm going to die just as I'm reaching the next Dragon Claw. Had I played that out a little better, had I stayed in with Charizard and just dumped all that energy and forced the Giratina to take me out, I would have had Venusaur in the back. So here I'm not swapping out. I make a slight mistake. I do have, obviously, this whole team. If you hate Charmers, run this team. If you're seeing Charmers everywhere, sort of like I was seeing Obstagoon and Charm. Obstagoon in the back, which is why these two mons are in the back. And then Charm in the lead, which is why A-Slash is in the lead. So this is a pretty dominant matchup, right? The reason I show this one, even though we got a positive matchup, is because the backmon is a Magneton. And they're going to leave two shields for it. Here we see MP tie. The reason I'm going for Frenzy Plant is because one Sludge Bomb doesn't KO, And even if you throw the Sludge Bomb, Ninetales isn't in farm down range. So in my opinion, it's better to just go for Frenzy Plant since you're still gonna need 2 moves anyway. Some people might disagree with that. Maybe, you know, if the Ninetales is chipped enough, then maybe go for the Sludge Bomb. I think it does like 75%. Here I'm just going straight for Ice Punches because at this point what I'm hoping is that I'll be able to get to a Dragon Claw at the very minimum. And they start shielding, which is great for me. I outpace them, so I throw right away because I lose CMP to Magnuson. They shield again, and here I'm just doing Shadow Claw damage because that's what's going to get this guy into farm down range. They don't over farm too much. I survive that. I don't know if they undercharge that. And I just barely get to the Dragon Claw, and this should be enough to take them out. So a difficult back mon that we were able to play around. I say we, but like, you know, a difficult lead. But here is something I learned from this team. Aurora safe swap. If you have Wall Rain, I think Wall Rain is the better response. But Frenzy Plant hits hard. 1, throw the Frenzy Plant immediately. And then 2, let your Venusaur go down. As much as that would suck, you're gonna have 2 shields. You're gonna still tank the reason you let it go is because they can farm you down if you decide to invest a second shield. So regardless, yeah, you may be 1 shield up and they may have 0 shields, but now Auroras has a ton of energy. They're gonna reach that Meteor Beam regardless, so you might as well have 2 shields to your name and farm up a decent amount of energy. I throw 1 before they reach their next Meteor Beam because CMP is IV dependent on Auroras. They have an Avalugg, and unfortunately, if I had 2 shields, this would be so dominant because I'd still have about the same health on A-Slash. I would have taken out the Auroras, and I'd have a second shield to this guy's name. And I have to throw the Blast Burn because a Dragon Claw only does about 20%, and I don't think that's 20%. And because I don't have that second shield, I'm gonna have to take this Stone Edge, and then I can't win this match. So if you're running into that Home Slice Henry team, or this team, which is also, you know, pretty similar concept, save that shield for the Charizard. You're gonna need it. Again, another team. This is gonna be the Home Slice one. They come again with the Auroras. This time I do throw immediately, forcing them to shield because they're gonna have to. And I think I'm gonna tank this first one. They're gonna outpace you to the next one. Let them throw the move. Let them take you out, because unless they CMP tie you, which I try to do here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, they overfarm. Really smart of them. I'm not going to get this second Frenzy Plant off, no matter how good an IV Venusaur that you have. So let it go. You have 2 shields up. You're going to eat a Meteor Beam regardless. You'll be able to outpace to the next one. Here they give me some hope, right? Because they're throwing a boosted Weather Ball, but it's still 2 times resisted. I launched this guy. I don't think a Ice Punch would have taken them out. Here they bait me, which is fantastic. But again, I would have had 2 shields, right? Now I have 0 shields. I'm going to eat the first Icicle Spear. And then this game, I swear I lose not because of my incompetence, but because the damn game doesn't work. They're 1 away. They are 1 away from the next Icicle Spear. Who should win CMP? Charizard. Charizard, there is no world where Wall Rain wins CMP. And if it does, please let me know in the comments, because right here I was tilted. I don't throw anything because I was like, what the actual I throw the man. I got so upset. So yeah, we had that game. We totally had that game. They would have been a little farther away from, like, 2 moves from the Stone Edge. So I would have been able to at least get a Dragon Claw off, maybe, or get it into enough wing attack damage that I would have been able to make something of it. Charizard lead is awful. We have a Venusaur in the back. My opponent plays correctly and just goes straight Blast Burn. I'm not willing to CMP tie. I don't even think a Dragon Claw takes out from that range. They come in with an Obstagoon. I'm going to go for the Blast Burn just to guarantee that shield back. And this is one of those teams that's just hard counter. You know, there's not much you can do at this health disparity. Maybe I should have played for 2 shields, but I was afraid the Obstagoon might farm me down. Here I'm going to have to eat another Night Slash, I think. And yeah, we would have been able to survive that other Night Slash in that previous game. So I should have just stayed in, forced them to throw, under tap, and we would have had that game. Here, you're going to see that there is not really a hope. I have to throw on the CMP just to force them to make a decision. They still have a shield, and they have a Virizion in the back, so I can't do anything against Verizon Wireless. Here's a horrible lead, right? Because we're running Shadow Claw. I don't want to play this out because they have superpower. They're going to land the body slam, which is fine. And I'm just going to farm up. Farm up, throw a little bit before their next body slam. They let it go. And here I shield. I shield this, and then I'm going to build up to the back-to-back Dragon Claws so that if they decide they want to shield, I'll at least get a shield back. My opponent doesn't because, you know, really wise decision. Here I'm going for double Dragon Claw to just guarantee damage. I just need damage off. It would suck if they shielded up because I have 2 Pokemon weak in the back to Charizard. I swap out immediately because I don't want to get farmed down. And what could they possibly have in the back? Again, I'm screwed. So I'm going to get some damage off here. I get a shield. They definitely didn't need to shield that. Had they not shielded, they might have won this game. Spoiler alert. I'm going to wait out my switch timer so that I can potentially make a catch. Come in with Venu. They're farming. They're going to go for the Stone Edge. I do something in this match that I wouldn't recommend, but it does end up helping me out. Build up. I believe they're 1 away from the Stone Edge. So I'm going to do 1, wait, and catch. And we managed to catch the Stone Edge. Thank the heavens. This is my only win con. Here that my opponent's not swapping out. They go straight for the Sacred Sword. I was going to build up to just before their next, they catch, but I was going to go for double Sludge Bombs anyway. And we managed to take that win from a pretty difficult lead. A-Slash had nowhere to go, so we had to rely on the back 2 Mons, and I think we played that out pretty well. But yeah, I want to showcase these runs because we did drop an ELO. We're not too far from Veteran. I think we're at 2489. I was pretty tilted at that one match that came down to, I think I just lost a turn, and Walrein won CMP because of it. So that just sent me to the moon. The Avalugg teams, or the Avalugg backline, that I think we had a chance for both of those teams if we saved both shields for Charizard. Because Charizard's super strong against that team, especially with shields up. So I think that was my mistake, and I think going forward, I'm going to try this team again because I do think it has a lot of potential with what I'm seeing, even though we're getting hard countered in the lead with Virizion. A Virizion I don't think is as bad as a Obstagoon, because Obstagoon is usually preparing for, I guess, Charmers and Charizard, so you got to be wary of that. But yeah, just a valuable lesson in just like, if you're hard countered in the meta, it's not always a hard loss. There's ways to play around it. And if you level up in caliber as a player and you learn from your mistakes, you might be able to turn some of those losses into wins. And I think that's what the better players are able to understand and able to do. A previous me would have been so upset that I was getting hard countered and, you know, would have blamed an algorithm and would have just taken the L's and not learned anything from it. But I think in these battles, especially as tilted as I got, sorry, I'm rambling, but I just want to get this. This channel is also supposed to be me documenting my journey, right? I feel like I learned a lot, and I hope that maybe you guys did too. And if you decide to run this team, you know, take some of the pointers that I have. Maybe you guys are even better battlers than I am. So if you have any pointers, definitely leave them in the comments. I'm always looking to grow as a battler. Thank you again so much for all your support on the channel. It really, really means a lot. Here's to 1,000. I'll catch you in that next video. Peace.